Have you ever wondered where the story of humanity began? Let's take a journey together, a journey back in time to the very cradle of civilization, Africa. It is here on this vast and diverse continent that the first chapters of human history were written. Africa, with its rich tapestry of cultures and landscapes, is the birthplace of our species, Homo sapiens. The evolution of our kind began in this very place, millions of years ago. Over time, these early humans learned to adapt and thrive in the challenging environment that Africa presented. They developed tools, began to form communities, and laid the foundations for what we now recognize as society. The story of Africa is not just a tale of survival and adaptation. It is also a story of innovation and discovery. The advent of agriculture, for instance, marked a significant turning point in human history. This revolutionary development happened right here, in Africa. Early humans learned to cultivate crops and domesticate animals, paving the way for a more settled way of life. But the story doesn't end there. As societies grew and evolved, so too did their complexity. The African continent saw the rise of some of the world's earliest civilizations. Ancient Egypt, with its iconic pyramids and sophisticated systems of governance, is perhaps the most renowned of these, but it was far from alone. Nubia, an equally impressive civilization, flourished alongside Egypt, showcasing the diversity and richness of Africa's cultural heritage. Africa's early history is a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the will to explore and understand the world around us. It is a story of progress and evolution, of societies growing, learning, and adapting to the challenges and opportunities that came their way. So when you think of Africa, remember this: it isn't just a continent, it's the birthplace of humanity, the cradle of civilization, a testament to our shared past. It is in this diverse and ancient continent that the very roots of humanity lie. What if I told you that some of the greatest empires in history were African? Our journey through the annals of time takes us to a period often referred to as the Golden Age of African empires. This era was marked by the ascension of powerful states, each leaving an indelible mark on the course of history. Let's take a moment to appreciate the Aksum Empire, a trading giant that stood its ground from the 1st to the 10th century AD. Located in present-day Ethiopia and Eritrea, Aksum was a beacon of wealth and culture, its influence reaching as far as India and the Roman Empire. Shifting our gaze westward, we encounter the Ghana Empire, not to be confused with the modern-day nation. From the 7th to the 13th century, it was the epicenter of the gold trade, a veritable El Dorado, dazzling with its riches and sophisticated governance. Then there was the Mali Empire, spanning the 13th to the 16th century, an empire so wealthy that its ruler, Mansa Musa, is considered the richest man to have ever lived. His legendary pilgrimage to Mecca is still recounted with awe, a journey that allegedly involved a caravan of camels each carrying hundreds of pounds of gold. And we cannot forget the Songhai Empire, the largest African empire in history, a powerhouse of learning and culture. The University of Sankore in Timbuktu, an intellectual and spiritual capital, was a testament to the empire's commitment to knowledge and scholarship. However, even the most formidable empires have their sunset. Various factors such as internal strife, invasions, and shifts in trade routes led to the decline of these African states. Yet, their legacy endures, their contributions to global history echoing through the ages. From the wealth of Aksum, the governance of Ghana, the riches of Mali, to the intellectual prowess of Songhai, these African empires were, without a doubt, centers of wealth, culture, and power, rivaling any in the world during their peak. Their stories serve as a potent reminder of Africa's vibrant past, far removed from the often skewed narratives we encounter today. These African empires were centers of wealth, culture, and power, rivaling any in the world during their peak. But what happened when outsiders set their sights on Africa's wealth? Let's journey back to the late 19th century, a time when Europe's hunger for resources turned towards the African continent. The Berlin Conference of 1884–85 marked a pivotal point, where European powers laid down their claim to various parts of Africa, igniting what we now call the Scramble for Africa. This scramble was not merely a race for land, but a deeply complex and brutal period of exploitation and domination. Natural resources were plundered, indigenous cultures were suppressed, and millions of lives were forever changed. But let's not forget, this era also brought about certain developments in infrastructure, education, and administration, although these were often intended to serve the colonizers' interests. However, the spirit of Africa was not easily quelled. Resistance movements sprouted across the continent as indigenous populations fought to preserve their lands, their cultures, and their dignity. From the Ashanti Wars in West Africa to the Maji Rebellion in East Africa, the fight against colonial rule was fierce and unyielding. These movements, while often met with brutal retaliation, sowed the seeds for the eventual push towards independence in the mid-20th century. This period of colonialism, steeped in conflict and struggle, left an indelible mark on Africa. The scars of this era still shape Africa's present, reflecting a painful chapter in its history. So how did Africa navigate its way to independence? The mid-20th century heralded a new dawn for Africa, a wave of independence movements that swept across the continent like a mighty wind of change. From the north to the south, the east to the west, the people of Africa rose up, casting off the shackles of colonial rule. They demanded self-rule, dignity, and a chance to shape their own destiny. In the face of these unstoppable forces, colonial powers ceded control, leading to the formation of modern African nations. Each nation, with its unique blend of cultures, languages, and histories, embarked on a journey of self-discovery and nation-building. It was, and still is, a journey filled with both triumphs and trials. Today, Africa stands tall, a continent rich in potential and teeming with promise. Yet it's not without its challenges. Economic disparity, political instability, and social issues continue to persist. But Africa is resilient, always finding ways to overcome adversity. Africa's role in the global community continues to evolve. From contributing to global peacekeeping missions to playing a significant role in international trade, Africa is not just a spectator, but an active participant on the world stage. From the ancient cradle of humanity to the vibrant, diverse continent of today, Africa's history is a testament to the resilience and spirit of its people. Thanks for watching SCB Scribe for more.